In the quiet town of Millbrook, where morning mist hangs like a soft blanket, lived a golden Labrador named Max. He wasn't just any dog. He belonged to Captain Daniel Reeves, a firefighter who had rescued him as a tiny puppy. From that first day, an unspoken understanding grew between them. Max could sense Daniel's every mood, every worry. And when Daniel left for a dangerous call, Max would stand vigil by the door, a loyal sentinel waiting for his master's return. Every night, he slept beside Daniel's boots. As if guarding his very dreams, Daniel often told his friends, "If every man had a heart like this dog, the world would never burn." One stormy autumn evening, the peace was shattered. The alarm at the fire station blared. A house on Maple Street was engulfed in flames. Daniel and his team raced into the rainy darkness. On arrival, the fire was a raging monster, and screams echoed from within. Without hesitation, Daniel plunged into the inferno. He guided the trapped family out one by one, but as he went back for a final check, a deafening explosion shook the building. A wall collapsed, trapping him. His radio fell silent. Smoke began to steal his breath miles away. At that very moment, Max shot up from his sleep. He barked wildly, a frantic, desperate sound. He clawed at the door, whining, his heart pounding in his chest, an invisible thread, a deep, primal connection told him Daniel was in grave danger. With a final, determined bark, Max launched himself through an open window and disappeared into the storm, a golden streak against the black of night, running straight for Maple Street. When Max reached the fire, he was met with a scene of pure chaos, flashing lights, shouting firefighters, and the suffocating smell of smoke filled the air, but nothing could deter him. He dodged through the legs of the rescuers, ignoring the intense heat and the calls to stop. He was driven by one thing, and one thing only, the scent of his master plunging into the burning house. Max navigated the blinding smoke. He found Daniel pinned beneath a heavy fallen beam. Unconscious but alive, the fire roared, inching closer, raining sparks from the ceiling. Max barked desperately, his voice a beacon in the inferno. He tugged at Daniel's jacket, refusing to abandon him. His barks grew louder, more insistent, until finally, one of the firefighters heard the faint sound, following the dog's desperate cries. They found them working together. They heaved the beam off Daniel and carried him out of the fire's grasp. Safe outside, Daniel was barely breathing, but he was alive. The firefighters looked around, calling for the heroic dog, but Max was nowhere to be seen for a terrifying moment. They feared the worst. Then a golden shape emerged from the smoke. It was Max, covered in soot. Limping, but alive, he dragged himself to Daniel's stretcher, laid his head gently on his master's chest, and closed his eyes. His duty was done. He had found him. Days later, Daniel woke up in a hospital room. The first thing he saw was Max, lying faithfully by his bed, his tail giving a weak, happy thump. Tears welled in Daniel's eyes. He wrapped his arms around his furry hero and whispered, "You're not just my dog, Max. You're my brother." News of the brave Labrador spread like wildfire. The town of Millbrook hailed him as a hero. Children brought him his favorite treats, and strangers came just to meet the dog who ran through flames for his master. The fire department made Max an honorary firefighter, and Daniel proudly placed a small, custom-made badge on his collar, a tiny medal for a heart of immeasurable size. Years passed. Daniel grew older, and Max's golden fur slowly turned to silver. One peaceful morning, Max didn't wake up. He passed away in his sleep, his head resting near Daniel's boots, the very spot he had guarded so faithfully for all those years. The entire town mourned the loss of their four-legged hero. The firefighters came together and erected a bronze statue of Max right in front of the station. The plaque beneath it reads, "Max, the Labrador with the heart of a hero." He didn't speak, yet he showed us what courage truly means to this day. Every firefighter in Millbrook touches that statue for good luck before heading out on a call. It serves as a timeless reminder that true bravery isn't measured in words or accolades, but in unwavering love, absolute loyalty, and the pure, courageous heart of a Labrador. Thank you so much for watching and sharing in Max's incredible story. If this touched your heart, Please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more stories that celebrate the amazing. Bonds we share. We'll see you next time.